In this lesson, we shall be looking at variance and standard deviation. Okay, the relationship between variance and standard deviation, right? Then the variance is this. The formula for variance is this. Variance is sum. This symbol is sum. That is, we add. What are we going to add? X minus x bar. This x minus x bar, is the deviation from the mean. The deviation of each item, okay, from the mean. Then we are going to square them and divide by n. Alright, that is the formula. We are going to apply that anyway. Then standard deviation is the square root of variance, which means we cannot find standard deviation without variance. In any case, if we are to find standard deviation, we must equally find variance. Whatever we have as variance, we find the square root, okay, and that will give us standard deviation. All right, then we have this example to start with. The ages of 5 students in a group are 13, 14, 17, 18 and 18. Find the variance and standard deviation of their ages. All right, then the first thing is that if you look at the formula, it involves mean. This is the symbol for mean. Okay, this is symbol for mean. We just have to find the mean first. All right, and we know that mean is sum over n. That means we are going to add 13 plus 14 plus 17 plus 18 plus 18 again over how many entry? There are 5. All right, over 5. All right, so 13 plus 14 plus 17 plus 18 plus 18 again is going to be 80. Okay, it's 80 over 5. 80 over 5, and that is 16. So the mean is 16. All right, the mean is 16. Then we need to create a table to finish our work. Let the ages come here. Let their ages be here. Then let the deviation from the mean, the difference between their ages and the mean, is coming here. Then whatever we have here, we can square it. That is x minus x bar, all in square. Whatever we have, we square it. All right, then for their ages, we have 13, we have 14, then we have 17, we have 18, we have 18 again, we have 18 again. Then x minus x bar. Remember the x bar, which is mean, is 16. Okay, the mean is 16. I think it's, look at it here. All right, then x minus x bar, that is, we are going to, knowing that x bar, which is the mean, is 16, then x minus x bar, that is here, is going to be 13 minus 16. 13 minus 16, that is going to be what? Minus 3. 13 minus 16 is minus 3. 14 minus 16 is minus 2. 17 minus 16 is 1. 18 minus 2 is 18 minus 16 is 2. 18 again minus 16 is 2. Okay, then if you look at it, this deviation from the mean is, if you sum them downward, is always 0. Okay, this is telling us how far are they from the mean, x minus x bar, which means this number 13, this is minus 3 away from the mean. All right, then x minus whatever we have here, just square it. That is x minus x bar squared. Okay, whatever we have here, just square it. Here, if you square 3 minus 3 squared, that is minus 3 times minus 3 is plus 9. Whenever you square a negative, the answer is plus 9. Okay, this is 9. Then minus 2 squared, that is minus 2 times minus 2 is plus 4. Alright, 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2, 2 square is 4, and then another 2, 2 square is 4 again. Alright, then what do we have if you sum downward? 9 plus 4 is 13, 13 plus 1 is 14, 14 plus 4 is 18, 18 plus 4 is 22. Okay, is 22. Then let us apply variance. If you look at variance, the formula, which is this variance then is there any headache here? Then this is whatever we have here, this sum over down here, that is summation. That is going to be the summation of x minus x bar square. All right, so here x minus x bar square is 22. Then over n, how many entries? 5. 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 22 over 5. 22 over 5 is 4.4. 22 over 5 is 4.4. Okay, then the standard the variance is 4.4, and we know that standard deviation is square root of variance. Then in this case, standard deviation, which is square root of variance, then in the standard deviation is going to be square root of 4.4. Square root of 4.4, and square root of 4.4 is 2.1. 2.1. Okay, so that is our answer. All right, in this question we have gotten the variance, which is 4.4, and then we find the square root of 4.4, that is 2.1. Okay, this is our variance and this is our standard deviation. All right, so find the standard deviation, we must find the square root, we must find variance. Whatever we have as variance, we find the square root, and then the square root of the variance will give us standard deviation. Don't be surprised that you may have this also as formula for variance. If you compare this with the first one, then look at the first formula. This is capital letter N. This is because we have 5 students. Okay, this is not sample. These ages 13, 14, 17, 18 and 18 is not selected, it's not sample. They are just 5 in a class, in that group. Then and we need to find the variance, so we just have to divide by n. Okay, we just have to divide by n. But in a situation whereby, let's say these 5 students are selected, okay, from a class of, let's say, 50 students, this is not, then in this case we are not going to divide by n. In this case, this formula, that is n, will now become n. We'll make it of this formula n minus 1 instead of dividing by n. Okay, so that is another way we look at we can have, this is another way the formula can come, okay, with capital letter N. This is because we consider, we didn't consider 5 students. There are 5 in a class, they are just 5. Okay, and we need to find the variance and standard deviation of their ages, so we just have to divide by the total number. But in a situation whereby these 5 students are selected from a class, let's say a class of 20, we decide to pick 5 students, then have their ages, find the variance of their ages and standard deviation. So in this case, this formula will now become, instead of n, capital letter N, which is total, then this will become n minus 1. Okay, this is what we call sample variance. Sample, because it is not total. For instance, we have this figure set of numbers. Let's say 6 students are selected in primary, and their ages are 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 8 years, 9 years, and 10 years. We have these ages for just 6 years, out of, let's say, 100 or 200 or 300 students peoples in a school. Then how do we find the variance and standard deviation? So in this case, we are going to apply this formula. All right, so but in any case, we must find the mean. All right, we already know how to find the mean. The mean, let's start by calculating the mean. The mean, of course, we have to add everything together, and we divide by the total. That is 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8 again, plus 9 plus 10. All right, over how many entry? 1 2 3 4 5 6, over 6. All right, then 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10, that is going to be 48. 48 over 6. 48 over 6 is going to be 8. Okay, the mean is 8. That is 8 years. Then let us have this column, the edges, then x minus x bar. Then whatever we have in this column, we square it. That is x minus x bar squared. Okay, squared. Then we have 6 years, we have 7 years, we have 8, we have 8 again, we have 9, and we have 10. All right, and together is 48 years. Then what is the deviation from the mean? That is what this column is telling us. X minus x bar. Remember, x bar is 8. Okay, the mean is 8. This is the mean. Then we are going to subtract each of them from the mean. That is 6 minus 8, 7 minus 8, 8 minus 8. Okay, and so on. 6 minus 8 is minus 2. The difference, the deviation from the mean. 7 minus 8 is minus 1. And then 8 minus 8 is 0. 8 minus 8 again is 0. 9 minus 8 is 1. 10 minus 8 is 2. When you sum this column, it's always 0. Alright, then we are going to square this. That is x minus x bar square. Alright, we are going to square whatever we have in this column. Just square it and bring it here. Minus 2 square is 4. That is minus 2 times minus 2. Like I said earlier, when you square a negative, you have positive. Minus 2 square is 4. Minus 1 square, that is 1 times minus 1 times minus 1 is 1. 0 square is 0. 0 square is 0. 1 square is 1. 2 square is 4. Alright, then let us add everything. 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 1 6, 6 plus 4 is 10. Okay, then by formula variance, in this case variance is going to be summation of x minus x bar, which we have already, all in square, over n minus 1. Okay, then just look at the column, the summation, whatever we have here, as we add, that is summation of, that stands for this. Okay, summation of that. So summation of x minus x bar all in square is 10. Then over n minus 1, how many entry? We have 6 entry. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then that is 6 minus 1, that is going to be 5. Okay, 5 over 10, sorry, 10 divided by 5 is 2. So the variance is 2. Okay, variance equal 2. Then how do you find standard deviation? Like I said earlier, standard deviation is equal to square root of variance. Square root of variance. In this case, standard deviation is equal to square root of 2, and that is approximately 1.4. Okay, 1.4. So with this we are done. I hope you are able to relate the two cases whereby we use n minus 1 and whereby we use n for variance. Okay, here the standard deviation is 1.4 and the variance is 2. Okay. Okay, just make sure you relate the formula, know when to apply. If this sample variance, okay, sample, that means selected, it's not complete, it's not complete population, then sample variance, we use this. Okay, but if it is complete, total population, we know the population, we have to find the average, we have to find the variance of the whole population. So in this case, we don't need to minus 1, we just divide by n. Okay, and this is what you call unbiased. Remember, if we reduce, since we are not considering the whole population, we just have to reduce it by 1. Okay, so that it can be we can have unbiased result. I hope you understand this lesson. If you have any question, you can just reach me. I will drop my number, then I'm going to give you classwork. Make sure you solve it and send it on my WhatsApp. I will mark it and send it back to you. All right.